welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. If not, I am Brother Joseph. It's nice having you here. On this channel, I discuss a great many different topics. Mostly it's to do with us as humans, how we live, how we communicate with each other, and in particular, us as Nubians and how we deal with each other. But in recent weeks, I have been having conversations with people in the community who have put effort into making positive change. Now, today, I'm proud to say I'm in conversation with Mr. Joseph Jackson from a group of just such a name, Men for Positive Change, a group based in Wolverhampton. And I was made aware of Mr. Jackson several weeks ago when I attended a barbecue and sports day in the park in Wolverhampton. It was a great day, very spiritual, very multicultural, amazingly spiritual, in fact. And everyone who attended got fed, and there were thousands of people there. There was a huge amount of people, but the food never ran out. They were prepared for it. They were very prepared for it, and it was very well organized. I was amazed at what I saw. I was amazed at the atmosphere. I was amazed at the beautiful people who attended there. I'll be talking to Mr. Jackson in a moment, but before we do, let's have a quick word from Vinat Maduri and the House of Saving.
Hi everyone, price cap's been applied now, £2,500 for the next 2 years. Let me show you how I can help you make savings. Click on the link, go to thehouseofsavings.co.uk and I will show you how you can save. You don't know till you try.
Thank you, Vinette. A link to her website is in the description, and I would advise you to check it out because she's very good at what she does, and in these crisis times, she'll be of great use to you. So make use of her skills and her talents. In the meantime, a few things happened that day. I met someone who I had not seen for over 30 years, Mr. Colin Tickerman, and what a pleasure that was. It was years since I'd seen him, and I was so pleased to see him there. Good things happened that day. Anyhow, here's some photographs of myself and Colin on the day, and Colin as he was when I first met him. My, how the years roll by, eh? The good thing is, we're still here. Colin was a young man then, but a very, very talented actor. I do believe he's given it up, and that's a shame, because I believe he had a lot to offer. Let's get back to the barbecue and I'll talk with Mr. Jackson. This was only about 1/3 of all in attendance that day, but then, hey, what did I tell you? I'm no Steven Spielberg. In fact, I don't believe Steven Spielberg is any Steven Spielberg. Oh, my brother, it's nice to see you and to be talking with you.
Yes, likewise, yes.
Yeah. I was looking at some pictures I took of that function in the park.
Okay.
Yeah, and, you know, unfortunately, when it got really filled out, my phone was full and it wouldn't take any more.
All right, okay.
You know, the usual thing. You know, they wouldn't take any more. But I've got some pretty good pictures still. And the amazing thing was, I met a good friend of mine. I hadn't seen him for about over 30 years.
Wow. Wow.
Colin Sim. I met Colin there. Colin was in a play I directed many, many years ago. And he was a young lad then. Yeah. And he's now, well, a father, you know, he's doing his thing. I was quite pleased to see him.
Colin, with he had locks. He's got locks now.
Yes, Colin. Yeah.
Yes. He does. God, does he? It does something with your back. So
yes, he does. He does.
Yes. I know Colin well. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. He like a chiropractor, like. Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
Kind of thing. Yeah. Colin, bless him. It was beautiful.
Okay.
It was just beautiful. I was there and I heard someone shout, "Joe White." And I turned around and I saw this person. And the person came up to me and said to me, "Just pretend you know me for now." Honestly, the person said, "Just pretend, just hug me like you know me and pretend you know me." And I did. And then I stood back and I thought, this cannot be Colin. All of a sudden, I realized who it was. And I thought,
right.
It cannot be Colin. I said, "Colin?" He said, "Yes." I said, "Colin?" He said, "Yes." I was amazed after all these years, but it was the most beautiful meeting. And I thought, yeah, it was a good reason for you being here, bro.
And you know, and there has been so many people that's come back to me just saying very similar things. You know what I mean? So there's one guy came to me. I think it was just was it last? Yeah, it's a big day last week, and he said, and you know, I went into KFC, and he says, and he was in there waiting for his food and whatever, and he says, "Joe, I've been looking for you." I said, "What's up, man?" And he says, "Joe, I've been looking for you to say thank you, man." And I says, "Thank you about what?" And he's gone, "Listen, that day that you had over at the park
was amazing.
Was on another level." And he says, "Joe, my mom hasn't come out of her house 5 or 6 years. And my mom came out and she couldn't believe
Fantastic.
it." And you know, and I, even on the day I heard very similar kind of feedback. And I just feel that, you know, this is what God is asking us to know. This is what we should be doing. We've got to be so careful that we don't allow the voices of others to kind of...
a negativity to ruin what we're intending and what we're trying to do.
That's right.
You know,
this is who we are as a people. You know, we come together. When we come together, we vibes up together. You know what I mean?
Yeah. This is the real reflection of us as a Caribbean nation, the Caribbean people. This is what we are. This is what we always have been. But somewhere along the line, we seem to have lost our way. And it's great to see that it's come back together again, Joseph.
Yeah.
It's great. It really is. I was so amazed, so pleased by it. And, you know, I'm not a religious person as such, you know. I've always said churches, dodgy places, they don't do nothing for you. I'm not really religious. I'm a spiritual person. Tell me about a person in a church who is spiritually aware. And I would show you a person that I can get on really well with. Show me a person who just keeps talking about the Bible and I say, no, you have to go one step further than that with me. You know, I have to see how much you understand it. Yeah. And realize what it's about. And then we can go forward together. But if you just tell me, oh, I'm going to church, and because I once went to study theology, you know, when I went in there, they asked me what I was there for. I said, I want to know who my Father is. I said, what? I said, I don't want you to teach me the Bible. I want to know who my Father is. So I will understand what is being said in the Bible. Fully understand it. And if you can't tell me who my Father is, well, I shouldn't be here, kind of thing. They did say to me at the end of the day, I don't think you're suited for this. But then, no hard feelings.
That's it. You know, and that's it. You know, you're going to be very clear about who you are.
Yeah.
And that's that. You know, you know, I have this principle that I kind of use just I don't really air it, you know. When you see people who carve out statues and stuff,
Yes.
you know, or carve out, whether it's wood or whether it's made out of marble or whatever, or stone, whatever.
Yeah.
But when you see that before it's even been touched with a chisel or an hammer, it is just generally just a block.
It's just a block.
Just a block of, and it takes something within the individual who begins to carve out. He has a vision and he carves out, you know.
He sees what's in there.
What's in there? It's in there, isn't it?
Yeah.
And what I'm saying is, you know, God has given us a thing what we call life. And we have to carve out just the same way as a man's carving
exactly.
out. You know, it may come as a block. It may come as a single parent family. It may come with racism. It may come with something, and it's for you to be visionary.
We've got to shape it into something useful.
Got to shape it. Absolutely.
I love what you did, Joe.
Huh?
I love what you did, Joe. I just love what you did. I spoke to Donald, your colleague, and I was asking Donald. Donald said, "You do not want to speak to me." Donald said, "Do not speak to me. You need to speak to Joseph." I said, "Joseph?" He said, "Yeah, Joseph Jackson. You need to speak to Joseph. He is the man who dealt with this, and you need to speak to him." And he said, aside from that, this man has his hands in so many different things here, all as useful. You need to speak to this man because this man has so much he's offering the community. And, you know, they have a lot of faith in you, Joseph, and I can see why. Because you fed so many people. Yeah. What did I say to Donald? I said, "Donald, you know, you're a Christian." He said, "Well, not fully, you know, not really." He says, "You're a Christian." He said, he himself is not, you know, totally there. But he says, I said, "Well, you know, but," I said, "Jesus, you know about Jesus?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "Well, he only had a couple of loaves and fishes, you know." He says, "That's all he had. It wasn't a lot to offer." I said, "But look what you guys are offering here. The food, the meals that you offered there was fantastic. No one left there hungry."
That's right.
No one left that place hungry. Vegetarians, they were there. They were catered for. Meat eaters catered for. No one left there hungry. It was just amazing. The organization, the way it was organized, amazing. And the spiritual awareness and the spirituality. I actually said to a lady there also as well, I said, "You know, everyone's looking for God and they're trying to understand who God is." She said, "Yeah." I said, "But look around you." I said, "Look around you. Look at the faces in here." I said, "When you look at the faces, don't you see God?" I said, "Just look at the faces in here and look at the pleasure in the people's faces here." I said, "Look at multicultural and the peace and the tranquility and the beauty that's in here. And you see God right here in front of you." So what they're waiting for, they have, and I hope they realize it's here with them today.
You know, there was a feeling on the day of like a feeling of an outpouring, an abundance. You could feel it.
You could feel it in the atmosphere there.
Yes. You know, nothing forced. Everything was, you know, the mayor was there and she spoke to me a couple of days later and she says, "Joe, there was something for everybody."
It was beautiful, Joe.
You know what I mean? And I'd say, you know, we didn't purposely organize something to say, let's make sure we got something for everybody. But when, you know, I'm a man of God. And so, you know, when you are aligned to the things of God, we operate through the Holy Spirit. And the Holy Spirit, the Bible says, there's a scripture in the Bible, God goes before. We are trying to do our thing. God is in alignment. So long as we're doing whatever it is in alignment with the things of God, God will make sure whatever needs to happen will happen.
Will happen.
And what happened on that day was a reassurance that
the Father is there doing it with you.
Absolutely. Yes, he's
There,
right
he was
here.
there. The Father was there that day.
Yes.
He was there that day. I saw the Father. I saw my Father in everyone that was in there.
Yes.
I saw my Father in everyone. I just felt so good. And I had a stall there selling African clothing. And there was a chap there here to keep calling me back and saying, "You've got a customer, you've got a customer." I wasn't paying attention to anything that was happening on the stall. I was just looking around me in amazement and seeing the looks on the faces of the people that came there. And I thought, oh my life, it's happening to me again. I said again because it happened to me in Aston Park a while back at the Jamaican independence thing.
Yes, yes.
And I said, it's happened to me. Look, it's happening again in front of my face. And I'm seeing our people again, what we're about. And I'm seeing the strength of the Father going through us here. And I was quite amazed. It was beautiful. It really was. It really was. The choir, there was a young people's choir there. And I wondered what it was, what actually brought it to life. Because the same thing happened at Aston where there was some spiritual singers there. They dealt with a lot with spirituality, not so much into rap and what have you, but spirituality and a spiritual awareness. And I saw that there as well. And I wonder if it's like a call to the Father who turns up and joins in.
That's exactly it.
It was all positive. It was beautiful.
Yes.
I've got to congratulate you. I've got to congratulate you. You've done a wonderful job, and you must keep that going, Joe.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, you know, there's a real pull in Wolverhampton, and it's not new. You know, it's we've been very proactive over the years in terms of, you know, making our voices heard, but in a unified fashion.
Yes. Yeah.
You know?
I know about that because I spoke to Lennox, who's on one of your group members. I interviewed him once on New Style Radio here in Birmingham.
Right. Yeah.
That's how I got in touch with you, actually, and that's how I looked at this about the park. And you know, I could see what was in him and what his intentions were. And so I've stuck with him from then on. I kept in touch with him because I could see that what was intended behind it, about bringing people together, about helping the young people, you know, out of disparity and to show them positive ways to deal with their lives. And, you know, and you're still doing that now. And I understand you do the football as well, don't you?
Yes, yes. My personal thing is football. You know, I'm a former professional footballer, and I was at Wolves for about 3 years, and then when I left Wolves at the age of 19, I went into semi-professional, non-league, and I went into and played football all over the UK until I was around 31 when I retired, and then I took my badges, my coaching badges. And then the rest is history. I just felt like football, you know, was very, very good to me in the 80s. In the 80s and early 90s, and I realized that a lot of my friends got themselves into trouble because they weren't hooked by anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There wasn't hooked by any kind of activity, any kind of sport. And so even those crucial periods, those crucial times, you know, like maybe on a Saturday.
Yes.
Football hooliganism thing that was going on. But I couldn't get a hold of me. Do you know what I mean? Because at 3 o'clock on a Saturday, I had a match myself. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
And so, football kind of kept me out of, you know, the reach of I guess those who out of.
They had nothing. They had nothing
Yeah.
to keep them on a straight and narrow, and nothing to focus on. But it's a group work activity. Do you suppose it's the group work activity that helps there? Actually, learning to work within a group and
you know,
deliver.
I think, you know, we can get all technical around it, but I think what I'm saying is that I had a passion, you know, for football, you know, and I would play until it was dark. I'd get in trouble from my parents because they'd send me to the shop, and then, you know, just because dinner's ready to get cooked. and maybe my mom didn't see to realize that, you know, no little black peppers in there or so or whatever, and to say just go, and then I'm gone, and they've had to go out searching for me. You know. What I'm saying is, you know, when you are hooked like that, you know, it isn't just participating. It's who you are, and you know what I mean. And so that you know, it got a hold of me, and I remember, you know, when I was around 31, and, you know, I says, you know, the gang thing was at a tremendous height.
Yeah.
And I just said, you know what? The same way football kept me, football can keep other youngsters as well. And that's what I did. I just set up a program and just engaged young people. You know, I've been doing that since 1998. And so for 24 years, you know, we've been running this football program. And so this football program, you know, is called NPD, New Park Village Football Development. But its strapline is learning through football, learning life skills through the game, you know.
Yes.
Turning up on time.
Yes.
You know, and playing for your colours, playing for your logo. You know, regardless of where you come from, you're a team. You know, this whole postcode thing, we're demolishing it, and we're removing it because these boys are a team and they're from all parts of the city.
Yes.
And it's about, you know, sometimes we get caught up in, let's go and have a meeting with the police. Let's go and have a meeting. No, don't get me wrong. Yeah, we can do those things. Yeah. But sometimes we can get caught up in doing those things because it makes us feel important.
Yes.
As a people. But in actual fact, they just play up and nothing really changes. So from my perspective, you know, it does what it says on the tin.
Yeah.
If you know, I like football, and if a youngster likes football, let's go and play.
It gives them something to go for and to deliver. Self-discipline. It builds on self-discipline.
All those things, you know, all those things, you know, they've got to be hooked on something first, you know, and once they're hooked on that, you can start to shape them now.
Yes.
You can start shaping them. It's the hook first. Do they really love the game?
Yes.
If I've got to ring him to come, he doesn't love the game.
You don't love the game.
He doesn't love the game.
Yeah.
But if he loves the game, if I turn up and he's already waiting for me, he loves the game.
Yes.
That means I can do something with him.
Yes. Yes.
When
years ago, well, up until a few years ago, but years ago in particular, when I was dealing with Colin years ago, I did a lot with young people.
Yeah.
But it was with theatre.
Okay.
And I found it's very powerful, theatre, because I gave youngsters an opportunity to look at things outside of themselves. I put them in situations where they'd have to enact as other people in other situations that normally they wouldn't even think about.
Yes.
And then they would discuss this situation, discuss how they've approached it, and determine have they approached it right or wrong. I even had the group direct them. They directed each other so they could help each other to see the way they've approached things and approach life in that scenario that I've given them. And I found it really, really helpful. When I started with Colin did a show with me called To My Country a Child. When we started, everyone, all of the cast were unemployed. I actually interviewed them at a job centre here in Birmingham, and they were all unemployed. Within 3 weeks, every one of them had found employment. and I had to find alternative means of rehearsing. Late at night, weekends, you know, to cater for them so that they can keep their jobs. But they were all unemployed when I started, and within 3 weeks, they were all employed. And that's what drama did for them.
Yeah.
Being able to look at the situation they're in from a different perspective and being able to deal with it properly, work it properly, approach people properly, know how to approach people, and delivered them.
Yes. Yeah.
Delivered them. In fact, one of them is a big police officer here in Birmingham right now. He's a police officer, a very important police officer here in Birmingham right now.
Right. No, but that's what it is. It could be drama. The art is always a very important tool.
Yes. It helps people to see
and the creativity of our young people.
Yeah.
And people per se. And so art and sport and back in the day our parents didn't really think very much of those. They didn't see it as a but so much of us who participated in those activities and those initiatives built our confidences through these areas.
Yes.
And
benefited greatly from them.
Yeah.
And passed it on to their children too, which is great.
But again, sorry.
They passed it on to their children too.
Yeah.
Great.
And that's right.
It's great.
We in terms of it's not an accident that the actual event is called a family sports day. It wasn't an accident,
There was everything there. There was a lot of things there for young people and children. It was all there. The whole thing was there for the whole family.
And this is what
I'm losing you now. Every now and again, I'm losing your voice, so I don't know.
Right. I'm just wondering. Yeah. No, you want to have to make changes? No. All right. Can you see me now?
I can see you, but it's your voice. Every now and again, I lose it.
Okay. I don't know.
But it's okay. The message is still coming through, Joseph.
Okay, good man.
It's still
I'm
coming
saying, through. Sports. One of the things that kind of really. I became born again believer, a person of faith.
Yeah.
In 2005. So I already long started my football program from 1998. So I was already a community kind of active, somebody that was out there, somebody that was looking out for the youngsters.
Yes.
I was already there. So when I came into the church, after a while, did you spend maybe a good 6, 7, 8 years and, you're just doing church. But then I was still doing my bits. But I just, then all of a sudden I got like a real drive to say, this isn't it. This is not it. Sitting in the church in the four walls is not it.
It's not it.
You know what I mean? And so, I just built on what I was doing with the football. I'd already created lots of connections with the council figures, people in good positions, influential positions. And by having these conversations, we were able to then merge the church and those efforts and started to get the church out into the wider community. Yeah, we did bits, adjacent to the church, maybe on our local car park and stuff.
Yeah.
But we went out to our local college and ran a sports there for about 5 years.
Okay.
From 2010 to 2010 to 2015, we ran 2014. Sorry, we ran family sports day. So this is that was like the foundation.
Yeah.
And that used to be run by just a small group of people. It started out from our church, our local church, Harvest Temple Church, which is a New Testament church of God based in Eve Town. And we drove that.
Yeah.
But then about 2015, the troubles was becoming a little bit more, the youngsters were becoming more younger.
Yeah.
And there was a real city that, we're losing control.
Yeah.
And so the churches, so in the main black churches, the black Pentecostal churches came together, all the leaders of the men's department, we call it that, they came together and we started to talk. And what was very apparent was that our churches were situated in the very same neighborhoods where these gangs were. Yeah. Okay. And so we just said, listen, you know what? Let's walk the streets. So we started walking the streets and we started connecting with, landlords and people, other club users and football in areas and sporting people and shopkeepers, and just started to, walk these gang neighborhoods and it slowly but surely
built up.
Yeah.
On the poster for the barbecue in the park, I see there's also the Seventh-day Adventist churches involved in it as well. I understand there was about 4 or 5 different churches involved in the whole thing.
That's right. Yeah.
It's nice to see that, because I could never understand the different churches. They're all looking for the same God. So why the different denominations? I don't know. So to see everyone come together for a common purpose, that to me is a big step forward.
Well, this is the point, and that's the point as well, Joe, because we recognize as children of God, as if there is a God, there is a force of evil, there is a devil.
Yes.
There is a Satan. So in my mind, when I came into church, I couldn't understand it either. So I've never got myself bogged down with it. I've never got caught up in it like that.
Okay. So
one of my main philosophies, and I felt, God gave me this heart, was to say, this mantle, this whole notion of being divided up. Because the only person that's going to benefit of us being divided is Satan.
Isn't that negativity in this world is the only thing that benefits from it, So from 2015, Men for Positive Change was born, and then we got that group to link into the Family Sports Day, and we moved it from the college, which was like because it's at the college, even though it's a nice prestigious space. Yeah.
It wasn't open enough. You have to kind of almost like go in behind the scenes to see it.
Yes.
Whereas the park, it's literally, there it is. You can't miss it.
Joseph, it looks like they're going to kill my meeting again. This is weird. They're asking me to upgrade, and I am upgraded. That's very strange. They're taking my money and then asking me to upgrade. But you know what? It's been great talking to you, Joseph.
Yes.
What I would like you to do now, if please, just let us know how others can contact you to learn about what you're doing and experience how you go about doing what you do.
You know what? I have a website, not say a website, but I have an email and a telephone number that I can give you, right? Which is from my football club, but we link it all together anyway, right? So
I'll tell you what you do. If you send these to me, then I will put them into the description of this.
Okay.
The email, not necessarily the telephone number, but the email, just send that to me. I'll put that into the description so that people can contact you and learn from you. You'll probably be able to guide them and help them to develop what you've been developing for such a long time. And God bless you, Joseph.
Likewise.
Father bless you.
Yes.
Believe you me, that was beautiful. What I saw in that park was beautiful. I've never had a lot of faith for many years. I've never had a lot of faith in our people and how we've been dealing with ourselves, especially here in the West Midlands.
Right.
But in recent months, I've seen things that's completely turned me around.
Good, man. That's good. That's good.
Great. I've seen things turned me around, and I've seen who we are once again.
Yes.
And it's nice because I know the youngsters are going to fall on it. They're going to go for it. And because we're a wonderful people.
That's it.
We're wonderful people. We love to laugh. We love to have fun and enjoy ourselves. We're wonderful people. And we've lost that somewhere. And I just hope and pray that this, what you're doing and others like you are doing, can make it happen again.
Yes.
Bring it together again. You know, you're the unsung heroes of this situation, this world. And a lot of other people get mentioned, but the work that you do is amazing. I've seen it with my own eyes.
Yes.
It's amazing.
Yes.
You keep up the good work, Joseph.
Thank you for that. Yeah. All right. Good man.
Thank you
And thank you for having me on your show.
It's my pleasure.
Okay. God bless.
Privilege having you here.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Joseph, take care.
Okay.
Father bless you. Take care.
All right. Thank you. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye for now.